Happy Sunday, everyone. Labor Day weekend. Summer's ending. Oh my God. The children are like, man, summer's over. I remember when I was a child, I was like, oh, last day of summer, what do you have to do? It's like, well, guess I got to blow up the school. I'm putting it off. that, just keep summer going. Anyway, uh, hope your summer's going well. And hope you're happy. Happy Sunday. Pamela. All right. Greetings, Sean, and everyone attending. Praise Jesus Christ. Well said. Thank you, Pam. God first. Completely. Thank you. And thanks for your support. Wow. I really appreciate it. Frank Gina. Greetings to you. Pamela. Isn't that sweet? Jamie. Dave, John, and all. Jamie and Benjamin visiting on pilgrimage. Yes. Word is out. And it's good to have you in the area for a visit. So, a lot going on. And good to have you. Good to see you. Alan, happy day, everyone. J. Marababa, praise Jesus Christ. Thank you, Alan. The Eternal Now. That's what I named this one. And I had it Eternity to Eternity. And then I saw Alan write just all this great stuff, which was really helpful, I think, for many. And the links he put in there and everything was very good. Angela, good to have you. And so I changed it from eternity to eternal now. And that he's writing all this stuff. And then, hey, I really want to talk about the eternal now. What's happening is, you can sort of begin to hear the script unfolding. Like, I need to know this information. What's on your mind now, and you're hearing the script unfold a bit. You can see yourself begin to hear it more. Yeah. Mir Baba's symbol is like the edges of it, like are curling, unfolding, like what's happening while it's unfolding, right? The future's unfolding. So the script is unfolding, right? It's a script. The script is something written. So it's unfolding like like winding out in front of you as if it were like a roll, like unraveling. That's happening with more people, doing this work. And I want to talk about that today. So, and Mike is here. God bless you all. And thank you again for another video of Truth Sean. I love you. Thank you. I love you too, brother. And so we're the eternal now. The eternal now is mainly twofold, right? It's mainly twofold. Okay, we're in a time loop. So the eternal now is, guess what? It's always going to be the same game. Somehow, God can make it. I mean, my goodness, to do that. But that's just to show you that God is real. So the eternal now is, back to the future, back to the time loop, Groundhog's Day, every film out there somehow. You look at it like, wait a second. So the eternal now is also, it does relate to that. There's one segment of time, which is the game will be eternally played in this one section of time and no other time. So that's what it means by the eternal now. That's one's, part of it. In other words, our reality matches what we have to do spiritually. Yes, there's nothing. God wouldn't make a situation where, hey, reality is this and your situation totally different, doesn't match reality, nothing like that. No, it totally matches it, we are reset and we start and we unfold, in the game. And that's what's, going on with creation. I guess it's really good in the beginning and then, it goes along. So that's the loop we're in. But now, the eternal now is also relates to right now, doesn't it? Because one facet of creation is, you're trying to preserve it, but it's destroyed, right? Destruction is a part of the unfolding of creation, is the destruction of what was happening right before, and that's time, right? Something has to be destroyed for it to happen. So, and in that destruction is a memory wipe, right? So you're in, so the other part of this eternal now is you have to make decisions now based on the information that you have, this best that you have, but part of it, your memory is wiped out. So you have to listen to God because you don't have your memory. You're not allowed to have it. You have some, you have the memory of God. If you ever met with God, that's the only thing that stays, and nothing, none of your other memories stays perfectly, no matter how much you want it to. It's just, that's not, hey, I'm going to practice memory. It's like, I'm going to do some memory lifts. It's like, no. Oh, yeah, you are. Oh, okay, cool. Now, it doesn't work like that. So, eternal now is, given where you are spiritually, you make the decision based on it then. And you don't look to your past like, oh, I used to make these decisions. Well, you had different information, right? You had different information, so you didn't make those decisions. So the eternal now is you make decisions now, and you're trying to increase your connection to God, who is eternally, is without time, because God's outside of the game and inside, but God is outside of the game. So the eternal now is the consciousness of God. God is past time. You see, so our consciousness is getting closer to not being subject to time, even though it's subject to it here. And that's just part of the paradox of trying to have God consciousness in the place that is limited by duality and many other things, at least duality. Time is another limit, and so on, which God does not have these limitations at all. And so your nature, because you're one with God, you're not experiencing that as your nature now, but you have a desire to want to see God, and you say you want to get baptized and bow at my feet. Well, guess what? There is a spiritual hierarchy. And so now I'm going to talk about what happens. Okay. And that's kind of, and that's eternal now. And, uh, I've talked a lot about the time loop and stuff, but really, I want to talk about more the process. Mir Baba has a certain way of saying it. I want to kind of relate some of that so you can go, okay, when I'm reading that, it relates practically to my life in this way. Okay. So that's what I want to try and do today is relate to you. Okay. You got baptized, hey, I say you're a saint because you listen to me. You go on a year. You didn't try and go behind my back, steal my work. Like, hey, you're actually you're okay. What? How did that happen? Nobody does that. And you're like, what do you mean nobody does that? I'm like, nobody does that. You're like, what? I'm like, sorry. And so Mir Baba talks about, you know, going up a plane each time there's Hall and Mukam. And I've talked about this a lot. You get the bliss and you get duty. Okay, well, I'm going to talk about that happening in another way. And I'm going to relate it to the last 8 years of that we have to go through, right? Like the eternal now is, well, we don't have the past. We're leaving the dome. You're leaving the dome. So last 8 years matter because that we're doing it from here now. So you already know enough about the past. Who cares if it gets memory wiped? You need to know what's coming up, right? And what to do. Okay, so you want to know God. There's just part of Mayor Baba where it's like this guy comes and he's like, hey man, all this crazy Alan, I read all those links and I hope everybody did because I'm going through that, too this week is really good. What you put up there, obedience and what to do to the perfect master. So I'm like, okay, this is a tradition in America, right? Baptized, bow the feet. No. Okay, here we go. And you agree, you sign the paperwork, you got the paperwork, you sure? It's like the apostle, you sure you want to do this? You sure? You double sure? You quintuple, quadruple? You absolutely sure? And anyway, Mirabal was like, hey, why is everything in my life going? Why isn't this stuff working? What's going on? Like I thought I was getting with God. I was like, well, you asked to get with God, yeah? And they're like, yeah. Well, that's why it's happening. Okay, now let me that but your mom don't really say much more than that, honestly, and I wanna fill in the blanks for you so you really make it hit home as to what's going on in your life right now, because it relates to that, okay? And you're in some stage of it, so and it's really like the 3rd journey in the 4 journeys in God Speaks. So let's talk about it. You have the knowledge, okay. How did you get the knowledge? There's only one way to get knowledge of God here, and that's by miracles. So when you ask to see God, this is what happens every time, okay? You're asking God, "Hey, place me in a situation where I'm absolutely totally screwed by really doing basically what I should do, nothing out of the ordinary, just what, oh, this is how I do this. Like, this is how I, let's say, apply for real estate tax exemption. You're like, I just fill in the blanks and okay, good. Okie dokie. What the heck is going on? You know what I mean? Like, this could be, it could have just done it, like, what the, uh, okay, you're coming to God and, you want to see God. Okay. What do you wanna see? And so God at Hal and Mookum, right? Duty, what comes with duty? Power. When you think of like, oh man, like Harry Potter, here's a whoop, there's a power, boom, you're invisible, boom. All right. That's like a miracle power, yeah? Not getting killed is like a miracle power. Okay, I'm gonna pause that for a second, that conversation right there, and I'm gonna relate it back to me. And then we'll move on with the conversation. I get to Mayor Baba's soon. I sign there. First time I get to Mayor Baba's soon. Oh my God, getting there. I sign. And I stand up. Okay, great. I'm part of the team. Oh, I lose consciousness and end up in the bed there and meet with Mayor Baba. And I meet with Gabriel the angel first. Hands me the sword of judgment. And I'm like, dude, what's this? Duty. Duty. Hey, you're running Earth now. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing? Hey, I didn't come for this thing. Here, give me this thing. And he disappears. You don't, it's like, yeah, you don't get to give that thing up. To get to God, you take the duty first. No God otherwise. Nah, no. You want the power? You want the power of a miracle? You want to not be killed and know that you can't not be killed? You want to do that? You want to see God is real? You want a miracle? Guess what? We're gonna make, yeah. We're gonna set up everything so you don't die. Oh, you want your family not to, you want to not die so you can help others. Because why would you, you're given a power to help others, not to help yourself. If you want to become part of the spiritual hierarchy, you're given a power and put immediately in service of others. You screw your life and what you wanted to do. You signed up with God, and hey, 7 days a week is work. You got the power. Off you go. There you go. You wanted to see. You wanted God. Okay, here you go. Here's your new. Here's your new jacket. Can't be killed. It's like, well, okay. And then what happens? God will set up a situation where your ability to not be killed will make you use it for the most needy of not being killed. Like, for example, when I sat here for the hurricane and this bomb, it came storming down on the can't move or have no money 55 and up community in a super rich neighborhood, was super poor here, they can't do anything about leaving, many of them. So I'll just sit here and they'll be fine. So that was a use of, I'm given the sword of judgment. All powers flow from through the hierarchy, through that sword, through God's decree, through me only because it's through a hierarchy. So, oh, you want to work for God? You want to see God? Okay, well, first you get your duty, and you will do it. You will be placed in a situation where you will cry out for God, and you will do it, and you will receive your miracle, and you'll be like, okay, I guess this is what I do. But here's the thing: it was innate within you. It was already innate within you. You've already experienced some of this looking back now that your power is fully unlocked. You're like, actually, this was like me before. This has sort of happened to me before. You'll see that over time that you were chosen to do this work way long time ago, and come and meeting with me, it unlocks it. You see? In other words, you met with me properly, you're in the spiritual hierarchy, it unlocks the problem that creates God having to step in, create a miracle. You're given a power, and now you're going to be used as, okay, no one comes to God unless there's a miracle, period. And now you have a power. So your job is to make miracles happen and show that God is real. If you want to be a part of the spiritual hierarchy, which, hey, you say you wanted to see God, so this is the only way to do it. There is no other way. That's why you got to post a testimonial and stuff, because hey, show me you're going to be out there no matter where you are. You're going to have your power, and something's going to happen, and you're going to do what you need to do. Say God's name, you're going to know what to do, and you're going to do it. And some miracle will transpire, and it'll be like, oh, that happened again for you. But for them, it'll be like, that's a miracle. It'll change their life forever, like it did to you the first time. And then, but in service, I say you can't go backwards. Sorry, you're off the fourth plane. You got your power, right? The power of miracles, the fourth plane. You're a saint, fifth plane. Okay, so you got your power. You know what it is. I told you what it is. If I haven't, nah, I mean, these things are happening to me. What is it, right? Yeah, you got your power. You got baptized. You did it. I don't care what your age is or nothing. It's happening to you. It happened. It already happened. But now you're dealing with it, you know? And so nothing bad's going to happen to you from it, but you'll be placed in situations where other people would maybe wilt and what couldn't do them. That's the power of filled with God to use your power. So you never falter in when your power is needed. God gives you in your heart the ability to apply what's needed at that point. You will do it because that's your nature. You were created that way and given this power in this character, in this script. Yes, you will, as I will. You have to see that that's what's unfolding when you ask for God. Mir Baba says it this way and that way. I'm just trying to be straight with you, you know, so you can see it for what it is. I'm going to read what you have to say now in case somebody says something, but I just need you to see that, okay? So no one gets around it. Mike, God bless you all. Thank you again for another video. Okay, said that. And Alex, morning. Ah, yes. We are in mourning after hearing that little story. It is sort of, you know, uh, in duality here, you get both. You're like, dang, man, this is amazing that this is my power, and you're forced to accept. There's nobody going, hey, you do great work, Saint. You're doing great. No, people are, hey, what? They're saying the opposite. They're constantly testing you. Because as I said many times too, you're given the power. Who do we serve? They served us, pushing us along to become a saint, okay? But then you become a saint, who do we serve? Them. Like, look, you became a saint, and they're like, oh, like they get a little scared of you and whatnot. Your power is real, and it happens, start to rehappen. You get control of it, gain an understanding of it. You see situations around you where you can use it immediately and apply it, even just by walking over, end a conflict or something. I do that, Uh, just let me go say what needs to be said. Can't be killed. I don't care how angry he can't be hit either. I don't care how angry anyone is in any situation. Can't touch me. So I can just walk on over and be peaceful because there's nothing you can do. I don't care what weapon you have or how much anger, any. I can end anything just by walking over. And I'm just saying you will begin to understand the nature of your power. You know what I'm saying? And what duty God gives you to do it. I am hopefully helping you by you're saying this happened to me, that happened to me. I'm like, well, what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? What type of miracles? What's being unlocked before you? You've got to make sure your individual self has a roof over your head, the basics, right? Then your family got to have them, and then after that, you can help others. And so, if you're given a power, you become a saint and all that, then what happens is those things seem to fall apart, but they do come back together somehow. And then, through various miracles, and then once you're at that level, people start coming to you where you see, your power could be useful, some information, some knowledge. Maybe I should walk over there. Hey, you just, do this, do that, let me help you out with your tax forms for real estate taxes. You are able to do something. Then it becomes your duty, your responsibility. You're required to help others with it. You see, whatever the miracle you were able to perform is, that's the natural outcome of someone with a heart who is in the spiritual hierarchy. You're required to try and use your power again. Can't you see that's what's done to me? Hey, I go into court and this happened. Hey, I think this is how it's happened. Let's try and get you to have this happen. You see the power of miracles, so that you get one, and then you can teach others in this situation. This is what you do to unlock this ability, and so on. But spiritually, you want to meet with God. Well, you get the power. Yeah. Oh, hey, it worked. Now you're there. You're stationed there on the hierarchy. You see. And what are you going to do with it? You're going to use your powers for good. You're going to use your powers for evil. Which one? Almost everyone that came to me early in my work used the powers for evil. Not everyone. Not everyone. Dee Dee, great. Other examples, right? Alex been around a while. Ultimately not using your powers for evil. Yes. You're like, okay, I'm switching over here. I know it. And then God starts to sort out your thing once you've seen the miracles. Okay. And then, okay, I'm stable. I'm set up like that. And then the work starts coming to you and you begin to help people. So, because maybe you didn't see the spiritual hierarchy before, but it's all that's actually going on. That's what's God's making everything happen. So, of course, there's going to be a line at your door. Of course, if you're, super charismatic, like I say, a lighthouse, like I say, siren, lighthouse might be so, oh, hey, you're a lighthouse keeper. Somebody crashes their boat. You're like, hey, come on, let me get you some soup. There you go. You're going to get back out there. Let's get you going. There you go. Off you go. Okay, good job. That's what I try and do. Hey, oh, you broke your wing. We're going to have to mend that. Have a seat. Let me get you hooked up here. Like, what happened? I was in a storm. I broke my wing. I don't know what happened. What happened? Like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Fix their wing and off they go. Yeah. Not like a siren, like, haha, I got you. What do you got in your pocket? Say, I see you're kind of like had a storm there. What do you got there? Oh, some gold coins, right? They're mine now. Uh, you know, you can use your powers for good, or you can use your powers that God gives you for evil. It's up to you. And based on your actions, what you do, that's what you decide, you're going to see God or not. You're given the power, right? What are you going to do with it? That's your nature. What are you going to do? How are you going to help people? Hey, I can see the future unfolding. Okay. Can how can you help people with that? You see what I'm saying? You ask God, how can I help people with this? Oh, well, let me set a situation up for you and I'll show you how you can help people. You see? And it's like, oh, wow, okay. And then something happens, and then another something happens. That's like going along the 7 steps of each spiritual plane, using your power that God created innately for you in your script. Your home to God is in service to God. And ultimately, we serve the other team because they won't cross the line of these powers and take a power and you know get their memory wiped. They're like, "I have my power now. I know who I am. I can't I'm not sure I'll make it," you know? We're like, "Yeah, no, wipe my memory. I'll get to God, you know, I'll get my power back. You watch, I'll do what I'm supposed to do." God knows we will do it if we're given the opportunity. You earn your right to do it and then you go do it, right? That's what you're doing. You're earning your wings, you're earning your rights. When I get to the fifth plane in Tucson and I wrote this trust and so on, this hawk came at me through the window twice when I was just sitting there praying at my altar and knocked me flat, just on the floor. And I got the bliss, and eventually I kind of sat up and I experienced an angel coming into me physically and earning my wings. Like I earned my wing. Like there's an angel in me, like, or whatever. They're definitely wings, like I know I felt it and I experienced doing it, and a winged creature came and gave them to me. I know it happened. I went through the whole thing. So that happens on the fifth plane, you see? So once you're given your power and you know what it is, and you're like, okay, get me out there. Here you go. And there's the trust, and off you go. There's your power, and I get to work. Right? Oh, yeah, I was already doing the death stuff. Yeah, and you didn't die on the fourth plane. Look at you. So you didn't die, you kept going. Look at you. We'll give you the real one. Here's trust. Oh, okay. You see, like the further you go, the more you're like, nah, I'm with God. No, I'm not afraid of you. And then you just keep going and doing your best through the situation that God creates for you. You, you, your power gets, you have more of an understanding of it. It's innately in you, but you have to unlock it by your actions, you see? And then God trusts you more, and off you go. You're given more work. So it's not like, hey, okay, sword of justice. No, I'm just here for God. It's like, no, sorry, it doesn't work like that. Because the cycle is you're an angel in perfect service of God. So you have to return in perfect service of God. Perfect service, perfect service. Perfect. Like what? You're going to be tested. You'll be given the power like angels got powers, and you'll be tested. Come on. See? Here we are. So I experience all them powers that you all can get, you know, and that's why I can say X, Y, or Z, because I'm on the seventh plane. You're given, a certain maybe focus of one or an area, and then you're given that to focus on, to prove not that you can handle that quote power, but that your heart is in the right place. You know right from wrong, and you handle these situations. You get it right or wrong. You don't get it wrong. You do it. You see what I'm saying? Because you get to the seventh plane, you're given all the powers of God. You come home to God. You can be trusted. You're tested. You're trusted. You're back home. Welcome back. You see now, because you're back in God's. There's nothing. You yourself on your own actions have become non-duality. You have become single-minded. Like right? Whatever you say, God, I'm gonna do. Obedience, perfect obedience, like Alan said. The only thing I say to God is really, you say and I do. I would never know anything else. I give you the death prayer, right? I put you on notice to God, but to God, if you tell me to do something, if you tell me to jump off this cliff right now, you're gonna see me running and jumping the farthest I can, the absolute farthest. Jump. I'm gonna. I'm not gonna. Oh, okay. I'm gonna. I'm gonna. I'm gonna leap as high as I can, possibly jump. Watch how he says jump, and they're watching. They're watching. You see us say, oh, you wouldn't see if I'm afraid. Them bugs might be afraid of death. Watch me jump. Watch me. I'm not gonna step off the edge of a cliff, like off the edge of a building like Neo. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna jump. The jump program. Watch me. I ain't afraid. God's gonna catch me. Watch this. A jump program. The job of a saint is to jump. You know God's gonna catch you. What you do can't die. What? What? You know it. So they don't. Miracles are the only thing that bring people to God. And so you're gonna have to show them a miracle by your presence, or else they're not gonna come to God. I want my family to come to God. Oh, you do? Well, you know that what's gonna happen to you, right? You okay. You sure did anybody explain this to you? You sure you want to do that? I'm trying to explain it to you. Okay? All right. Charles J. Hi everyone. Sorry I'm late. That's cool. I drove into town to remind my friend Eric to join us. All right. Let's pray he does. That's sweet, Jay. Good for you. So I really need you to have full clarity on this process. It's happening individually to everyone. And once you can see where you are in this process so that you're, further along, oh, hey, got we're we got all the proof for real estate tax exemption. Oh, guess what? You think anybody else wants your help? Probably. You see, and so on down the line. Oh, you were able to do what? You're standing in what right next to that car. You like your whole wait. What did you just say? Like that- you you're alive and every wait. What? That's a that's completely impossible. And so on, where you get your receive your powers, you process it, you digest it, you know God is real. That's what you were asking for. That's what was wrong with everyone. That's what is wrong with everyone. You think God is real, okay, I get how God is, but you're not didn't experience it for a fact. Once you do, your life switches around. And you're like, your foundation is God. I serve God. And you see your broken pattern in yourself. I'll help you through that if you need it, but you see where it was broken and now it's single-minded to God, right? Single-minded, single acting, work toward God is so that's why you leave duality. You don't have any, hey, I want to go over there, want to go over here, want to go over here, want to go over there. What do now that guy knows God. I'm going to hang out with him and I'm going to get with God. Okay, that's single-mindedness. See? Oh, you would be one with God. One track mind, one track. You have to long for only one thing. Their Bible was very clear on that. Yeah. So I would say the same. You want God? God's going to set it up. You want it more than your family, friends, money, food, your life. You want more than everything on the list. Everything. You really willing to get it and give it up, right? But okay, bring your boy down there and we're gonna sacrifice your son. That kind of nonsense up with God. Stories like that. You're like, wait, what? Is I what did you just say? Yeah, your son, hey, your son. That's my son. Who you think created everybody here? You think that's your son? Hey, I'm gonna smash your ego to nothing. God shatters our heart, shatters it into infinite pieces, and then is the one who will enter then and put it back together. And I'm not gonna, you come with a broken wing, you come with a shattered heart. You could be under my wing for a minute. I'll hold my wing out. You could stand under there. Your wing will, you'll get used to that thing again. You'll be like, oh, this thing kind of working again. Fly around a little bit, take it slow, get a little break. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, you got some indestructible, like angel wings. That thing ain't gonna break again. Not ever. You're gonna do some breaking with that wing on the other side. You can break anything with that wings. You do wings, break this whole reality and let miracles slide on in. You see? That's what the wings do. Oh yeah, they cut through into the other side, you see? So they're not handed out, only rarely. And then you get to leave. You get to fly home after. So This is a process that you're engaged in, okay? And, the sooner you can see it for what it is, the more that you can gain control of it and just serve, and the other team is testing, "Can you serve?" We served. We served you to get here. I'm gonna serve you, and one of you is gonna leave your team. I'm gonna serve so well, you'll see my powers, and you'll pray to God in my presence, and it'll be granted, right? Some great tragedy will befall, and salvation will miraculously happen, and it'll be like, "Wait, this guy told us he couldn't be killed. What the fuck?" And life changes forever. Oh, you want God? You asked for this. You asked for it. You have to see that that is the process. It's incredibly difficult, you know? No one wants it, really, like, almost no one wants it, and the people that want it, they don't want a single other thing more than it, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean don't eat, don't live somewhere and stuff, but given a choice of that or anything, they'll say, give me God." Just it's always the same, and, I've been experiencing that a lot lately, and come 9/11, that's the line, it is the line. And so you'll be tossed out on the playing field with your powers, right? You were giving your training. You were given my time. You're given face to face. You were given those things. So you will walk out onto the playing field and you will use your powers for good, as you are currently. No change. But I'm just saying, this is the time period where, the separation begins. The ones that loved God all the way, 100%, and that's all they chose, will receive God's love infinitely in return. That's where the infinite age. You did it as infinitely as you could in God's direction, so you're going to receive as infinitely as possible in the service of others. In, in other words, those miracles will happen in the service of others if you're in service of others, because that's who you are. And that's what needs to happen before the end. So some others come over to the team, you leave, you got to pull somebody over. You don't get to go unless you get someone on the other team who wants to leave. What are you talking about? Wait, what? You have to, is that easy? I don't anybody think that's easy? They have to love you more than their team and everything. Come on. How do you do that? What do you think about that? Cow. Who's gonna do that? You need quite some power, do you need to be quite s charismatic yourself over there, don't you? You need to be like, "Oh, man, what the" you need God's help, like, you need to show them. I constantly show them. I constantly as I can, as constantly as my week and days allow, I constantly show them all the things, and you know, they give me room if I walk here or where yeah. They're nice, all that stuff. They know. They have proper manners now and all that. So, let's see what else I have on my list here. I hope that this is yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this is what you're asking for. No. Would this be the opening of the marketing pitch? Hey, if you get God at miracles, it's gonna, but Beer Mom is very clear about that. I think I am too. Hey, sorry, I got down to zero, picnic table and nothing. I just want God and that's it. It's like, oh, and nothing else? Well, we'll get you nothing else, no problem. Oh, you get that first? It's like, yeah, oh yeah, you get that first. And for a little while. Is that cool? It's like, that's not really actually that cool. It's like, well, you don't have to have God then. It's like, yeah, no. Yeah, give me nothing. I'll take nothing. I'll take God and nothing else. What are the side orders you have with it? Go with God? Nothing. It's like, yeah, oh, nothing? Yeah, nothing. Oh. So that's the eternal choice, and after 9/11, I'll go into some other things that I've been reluctant to talk about because the part of the script hasn't unfolded completely, and I don't want to change it or anything. And just saying, my life is. If you ever get near me, actually physically, and actually see what's going on and watch it and get close, like Jamie and Benjamin are choosing to do right now, you see what's going on. Okay. So it's normal, right? If you're saint, if you're like a lighthouse, right? If people have you're the beacon, and people show up, they show up wanting to know something and repair something and learn something. And when they do, it's your job. Mir Mama said, I'm the thief of hearts. I don't love anyone more than my guru, than Sridhar. How could I? Of course, I love God more, but I'm just saying, as far as someone, he brought me to God. Who could do more for me? How is that even remotely possible? It's all we need, right? So it's very unsettling, for relationships because I am actually who I am. And when you interact with me, you learn that. And just like I love my guru more than I love everyone, that's the way you properly will feel about me. And I will steer your heart that way, but I won't trample on it. I won't be a vampire to it. I won't suck your blood. I won't, oh, okay, we're going to have sex now. No, you're engaged in a spiritual process. I'm given this work of shepherd because, oh, one of the sheep has a broken leg over there. Other sheep, if you mess with that sheep, I'm going to take my stick and wrap you on the head. So just the first one, I'm just saying it like this. First one, wrap. Okay, the other sheep are like, okay, don't mess with the sheep with a broken leg. Yeah, I'm not going to take advantage of. I'm not a wolf. I'm not going to be, hey, a sheep's got a broken leg. No. Get your leg together over there. Took you a lot to get to me spiritually. Okay, you got a burger way get here for sure. For sure. The struggles you had to go for sure, for sure, for sure, for sure. And so now you're like, okay, I'm not going to take advantage of you in that process. I'll be like, don't worry, it's going to be cool. I'm not one of those evil people that, yep, shockingly, it's not everyone. I'm okay. And, you know, you, like I learned from my guru, will learn through that process that you went through. Okay, now I'm feeling a good, stable foundation with God. Fantastic. I made it through. That guy didn't screw me over. You got you got trained how to help others in that process because I actually helped you. And then you actually got trained from experience of how to help others. And in that, your traumatic pattern that God made happen to you from your child scars and previous lifestyles and stuff, I'll point it out. I won't take advantage of you, and it'll go away. It'll go away. It'll go away. And then after you get through that experience, your wings are, hey, my wings are fine. Thanks for not breaking my other wing while I had a burger wing. I'm like, yeah, no, that wouldn't be too cool of me. Your wings are working, fly off, and people do and should. Like, why, it's natural and normal. I'm not the end goal. God is. And the end goal is your service, right? To the others. You're trying to turn the hive. Guess what? Your idea of being in the hive is super dumb. I can't be killed over here and pretty much, yeah, everything you got going over there. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm doing this. I'm hanging with my family. You know what I mean? You're not wearing a mask. You're not pretending to be here. You're yourself. And they are not that. So they have to watch and learn. They have to be taught, like, oh, I didn't grow up with a father. I don't know what a good father's supposed to do. Yeah, no, how would you? You know? Them. They're not human. So unless they watch us, so how to be human with the heart, how are they gonna do it? They can't. They're not gonna learn. Once we learn the game, we don't know everything. But once you learn the game and hey, you know what's going on, then we make proper, correct, right decisions, that's the only time anyone's going to see proper, correct, right actions and behavior. That's being a saint. Like, you know what's going on and you're doing the right thing. You're not doing evil. Like, you're making a series of correct choices. And you're like, what? I just know the truth. So, of course, I would do it. Yeah, they don't do that. That's the opposite of what they do. That's you living your life in service of them. You're making proper choices every single time. You have a heart. In other words, your guru by yourself. I stole your heart. In other words, you love me, but I'm like, I don't. You keep on moving with them really great wings. Hey, you're working for God. You ain't working for me. I'm just part of management over here, but I'm not the. I'm not. You know, ain't my company. Nothing like that. I'm just working here like you. I'm in the warehouse. Sorry, just I'm in the warehouse too. That doesn't make me. I run Amazon. Nope. I'm just servant God. Yeah. So that's why our roles are actually quite similar. I'm not gonna screw you over on the way up. Like I did it. That's why I made it here. You know, here you're in charge. Yeah, sort of judgment. It's like, no, I'm looking for God. It's like, well, yeah, so you did great, you're in charge. It's like, no, wait, I'm looking for God. It's like, yeah, no, so you're in charge. It's like, no, stop saying that. I'm trying. Can you not hear me? You're like the messenger. What are you not hearing? It's like, no, I'm telling you the message that if you want God, that's just the way it is, baby. So that's what you're engaged in. Do you understand? Like your service to them. We're gonna throw you some wicked curveballs, and you're gonna swing, and you're gonna connect for God. You're gonna swing. You ain't gonna let that thing go by. You're gonna show what God's all about. You're gonna hit a home run out of the park and be like, say, you're on the wrong team. You're gonna lose. That's your job. They lose, you win. And you know you're going to win. You know for a fact. You don't care if it's today. Who cares? Maybe we got a big crescendo on another day. What you know when it's going to end. So we win, and you're going to have a series of wins. I'm trying to say a series of difficulties, right? A series of battles means you're going to win. Means there's going to be something you got to win. Something, you win. So they got to witness that. And they got to get on board. They got to help you. This whole place has got to decide what you're doing is right. And you see the fairies support you and make it happen. And ultimately see your cause. Like Muhammad, Muhammad said, no, Muhammad said everyone has a jinn. And he made his jinn worship God. You see what I'm saying? We're trying to get the other team to worship God too. Get over here. What are you doing? I get the miracles that matter on my side. You all are stupid. You're just Disney World characters. How is that a life? It's not even a life. I'm telling them right now. They're watching. One of the hive will always be watching. And I'm telling them, I'm turning them this second in the eternal now. And that's always what you're doing. That's the only thing you're doing. That's why you got called. That's why you made it back up to the plane, right? Come 9/11, 2025, the game begins in the last 8 years. You're brought to your last current spiritual status from your last lifetime. And you're thrown out, right, for the third journey. Okay, off you go. Show them who's who. Show them God's real. Off you go. Get on the playing field. Oh, all I'm doing is stay at home and watching my grandchildren. Yeah, well, they ain't up to that business themselves. Yeah, so that's what you're doing. You're doing the right thing. You're in a situation. You're doing the right thing. They're not. They're not always doing that. They have. Well, I'm going to do this. Yeah, no. They're always forced to watch us. That's their only role is to watch us, and we are forced to show them what is right. And they're doing what's wrong, and they start to see something's amiss in their orders and how they're living and the way someone with a heart is living, and they see it and they're like, no, I gotta switch. And we're the ones that switch them. You see, the struggle was real for sure indeed, Jay. And this is what the struggle is for. Jamie, Everything you say is the truth. Grateful to be able to meet with you and get the repairs. Yeah, exactly. Listen, you were already out there helping people. All you individuals are very kind hearted souls who helped people. That's what you did. God has recognized you, created you that way, different than others. And now you come to the ultimate, like, no, I got to see God. That's your nature in your heart. And so God's like, yeah, we're going to go all the way with this thing if you want to come home. I'm going to give you real power to help people, like the real, actual. You want to, what do you think God's doing out there? He's helping people. He's running the whole game to help people. That's the whole thing. So you want to work for God. God's helping everybody come back to God. This is what it feels like to be separated from me, earn your way back. That's the whole game. So you become a helper in that with God. And you become a helper in the end by showing you it can be done. And then this is how you live after you get it done. Simply with God, it's not a complex thing, but you're all doing it very well, I've noticed. Very, very, very well. So, right before we hit this game on time, right? You should be what? Listen. Think of it this way. Uh, you're in a band, right? The super rock band of the century, and you will go on stage for your last world tour that lasts 8 years. And it starts on 11/20/25. You're in a green room now. It's time to party a little bit and chill out because you know what's coming. Take a vacation, get it together, chill out, get it. It's, I'm telling you, right? I'm trying to tell you. So you come this far, go in for repairs, like Jamie said, and uh, give yourself some proper downtime. I'm trying to tell you, I know you've done a lot. What you did was now you work for God. Okay, so you wanted to see God, you want to work for God, you're going to get to work now. But you have power. Okay, it's not going to be the same. Okay, things will be different. Now you're going to win. Okay, Jay. Number of fallen angel tattoo people at the counters now has shot up like crazy. Yeah. You can see who's who and what's what, indeed. And you're serving them by being a sweet guy that you are, Jay. When I buy stuff at the stores, yes, you like winning. You know what? That's what each one of us has in common. There's this absolute innate desire to win in each of us, and that's actually present there. It's funny being around some of you like Jamie. I was like, oh my god, this is she likes to win, and I say that about everyone. Each one of you is innately like that. You have to win this spiritual game, and ultimately anything else is sort of like second on that list. So because of that quality that you have, it has produced these results for you to get here to the eternal right now in your character that never changes. So what you do out there in these last 8 years, you will leave the dome or not, that's on you. You have the knowledge. I can't play another player's character. Like, it doesn't work that way. You go play your character, okay? And you're about to do it for real with the knowledge and all that. So just, I'm here. We could talk or whatever, but get your downtime, okay? Like downtime from your regular patterns and habits and all that stuff. Get a break. You need it. You need to, whatever is the thing that heals you, makes you feel better. I got to go get in the ocean, you know, that thing for you, you need to do that because this is coming on. You get me? Oh, when I hang out with my granddaughter, I'm 100. Okay. Whatever it is, you see what I'm saying? You need to focus on that for a minute because working means sometimes we get to take a break from the things that we really want to do and that nurture us individually so we can nurture others so they can pull forward. Try to tell you that's where you are in this time period. Okay. So take a little bit. We only got a couple weeks or whatever, right? Okay. Win for God. Exactly, Pamela. What a great, you're such a, whew, you're so great at doing what I am talking about. Like just staying steady and doing the right thing. You're absolute perfectionist at that. And then the rest of us are like, she's really good. Oh, glad she's on our team. You and your sister have a similar quality like that. It's wonderful. Victory to those with God indeed, sir. You wanted the power, you want to see God, and now you got it. Okay, man. And don't our all our hearts are with you, sir. You know they are. But we love you too much to say, hey man, come stay with me a Sunday. You do what you gotta do. You're doing it for your family, your loved ones, your town, your state, your county. The dude, you ain't you get them all with what you're doing. It's kind of incredible, actually, to me, even too. Like incredible. Really, truly. So each one of you and what you're doing. So I'm just here to help as much as I can. That's my job. But it's going to happen. You're receiving these gifts and powers, and you're receiving the difficulties to help yourself and then others overcome them. So God bless your success and your ongoing ability to do that. Okay. Um, I probably made a couple little notes before we during the week before since we last seen each other. Since I just write down a few little things that are out there, like since time began, right? As I say, end of the world. They were just talking about that. There's a really good movie out on not a good movie. It has they have little pieces of it. This thing's called Aeon Flux, and it's about cloning, and it's really there's a scene where they say it says we're just ghosts. They keep replicating the same individual over and over and over. That's a society. They're just clothes. Like it's just, and then they're just ghosts. They're not really. They're just these characters are nothing. They're not living life. So it's interesting like that. Uh, the OREDs, the originals, the Predators. So it's every story's talking about what we're going through. All the movies, they're always talking about what we're actually doing. Okay. I just wanted to speak directly without too many quotes of spiritual texts and all that stuff. I gave out the Razor's Edge today to some people this past week, in response to what Mike's going through, but we were all going through this similar thing. And so it's a book by M. Somerset Maugham, Maughm, M as in a M period is initial. And Somerset, I guess, is his middle name of this character, right? That wrote this great thing called Razor's Edge. It's a book based on a quote in the Upanishads, which is one of the foundation uh, short books of short stories that is the foundation of Hinduism, we're told. So, and it's just about how going to God is like walking a razor's edge. So, and that's what I'm talking about today, this week. So, and that's what you all are experiencing. So, and it has a good black and white movie you can get out on YouTube for free. And it has an incredible Bill Murray movie that, like, where he's super young, that is just incredible. So, same book, Razor's Edge. They're all kind of different takes on the book. The book says this thing, and then the black and white goes this way, and the color Bill Murray thing goes this way a little bit. So it's incredible, and I really recommend it for you to really sort of get a hold of and accept the difficulties of receiving a power, overcoming, praying for God so much that I want to work for you. You know what I mean? Get us this real estate tax exemption. We have to get everything with you, and then we're with you. Then we have a sanctuary for this baby. And you pray, you work, and you pray, you work, you pray, you work, and God grants your miracle, and you're given the power. And then you must help others and so on. And I could say this about each one of you, okay? I'm especially talking about the ones that have done, thankfully, testimonials and stuff. So it's in public. It's okay for me to talk about this. And so on. I'm not like, saying things that aren't out there in public. You've helped people by doing testimonials. So you're like, I'm in service. Okay, great. These are why I'm using you as a servant now to talk to the other people here who may watch this, and how you have been a good servant, and your actions are worthy of doing what you're doing. And this is what happened to you. And this is why you're stationed there as a saint, because of who you are and what you did. Your heart was true and got shattered in a million pieces, and God's going to put it back together. And you're working for God now. And you want to get out of the dome. This is how it's done, and you're doing it. So it's tough work, and you're doing it. Okay. We're about ready to hit we're like Wrexham. Okay, we took it out of this league, took it out of this one, took it out of this one. Last 8 years, Premier League. Okay, you're about to hit the grass. Highest, biggest arenas, and all eyes are on you. Because only you can turn the course and get someone from their team to switch over. And I say, what? That's impossible. So it's a miracle. And you're given the power of miracles. So only you can step in because of your love for God and change anyone. And, right, perform the miracle of someone stepping over. Yeah, can do it. By victory for those with God. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Jay, hey, Mike, God bless you, man. That's so sweet. God bless you, Charles. Aw. Thanks, man. What town are you in now? Fayetteville, North Carolina. Watching over his family. What a sweet guy. Pamela, should one sign up for the trust prior to 9/11 before? Should one sign the trust? I mean, someone should sign it the day they can. Yes. 5 minutes before the last end, you could still do it. Like Mary Mama says, hey, you can say my name right at the end. Your character was placed in that position right at that second because you were spiritually advanced to only need to do that one last thing. Are you going to do it right? You can't tell what your past like. You got your memory wipe. You're standing there in the right now. Maybe you were good all up into there, and you got to do it. You got to do it right then. You have one thing you got to do, and you got to do it. You don't know what got you there. You only have right now. You have to do the right thing. You have to, or you're going to do this again. Can't you? Don't know how much time is in front of you. Hey, this is the loop. This is the plan. God makes miracles. What? I don't. You can only see the loop clearly exactly for what it is, but you're playing for today. You can see God today. You're always playing like today's the day. You have to. You have to. It's not about death or anything. It's like God plays an infinitely difficult game. You play for today. Play for today, not for 8 years from now. You play for today. I'm telling you, you'll make it to the line because I am who I am. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a couple weeks off. And that is for real. You play for the day. You could sit on the sidelines and play for today too. Yeah. I didn't say you're never out of the game. I was saying go, you're in the game, we're having the game. Go sit on the sidelines and get some air, put on the oxygen mask, close your eyes, get something to drink, put your feet up, do it. Okay. All right, Pamela. Gee, get a fallen angel to step over, right? That's hard work, but that's the job. My family is actually watching over me hit. Exactly, sir. Talking about perfect servant. I love what you're doing, man. I was very surprised at how difficult uh, choices you're making, and uh, how well you're doing and how much your family loves you. I love you too. All right. Okay. Yeah, Pamela. Good question. Thank you. You're so steady. Like, I became a very aggressive God salesman and they still buy. Oh, I miss you, man. God salesman. And they still a bunch of the scripted character. I am turning down the dial a bit. Conserve energy. Good. Not firing it as quick way to find God. Thank you. Yeah. See, we just do it by our every day now. And they're like, how come that guy ain't dead? It's like, then eventually they're like, no, man, I'm alive because that guy can't be killed and I happen to be near him. Gonna happen. I'm telling you ahead of time, sir. You've already stood next to your whole life, your whole driving around home being flat. So I'm just saying, you don't have that no more, like that concern or worry or stuff like that. You do what you do, but it doesn't have to be taken from you again. What's going to be noticed from the other side that it can't be taken in your presence from others. That's how you're going to turn them that power. You see, it's it's a power that scares many people, man, and it scares them into seeing God. You see, like removing their fear ultimately scares them to God. You're like, wait, God is totally scarier than death in a way. It's like, you see? So it's, to bust their programming, saints do miracles. I'm telling you what your job is. Hopefully you know it. In case you don't, be real clear here. Okay? All right. Anyway, thanks for your work, It's not easy. I know you all are doing real work out there and that you're needed, or else God wouldn't have you do what you're doing. And you do it very well. I see what you're doing, so I know. So, all right. Really, thanks for the support. I'm gonna tell you after we pass 9/11, I'm gonna tell you what I've been up to with stuff. I can't now. Is take a rest. If you want help, send me some prayers. But I'm not gonna fill you in and this, that, and that other thing. Jamie, get to be a witness of Benjamin. That's enough right now. So after 9/11, we'll go through some things. And I know you've been up to some work. So what I'm saying is sit on the sidelines for a minute. Okay. I'm saying to do it. Do it on purpose, on purpose, on purpose. Get your rest, get your time with God, get your peace. I'm saying to do that, in particular, because God's going to wreck your peace and check to see if you can keep your peace when other people's can't keep their peace. That's going to be your job. You're going to be peace walking around. So you sit and get it before the game begins. You do it, do it, do it, do it. Okay? All right. All right. And hang out with your family, go do some fun things, whatever it is. Please do that, okay? Please, because we got work to do. You know the work, so take a minute. Okay. All right. God loves you. I love you. And we will be seeing each other next week, Sunday at noon, okay? Have a happy Sunday. Have a good, nice, happy American holiday and all that stuff, okay? All right, everyone. God bless you. Let's say a prayer for each other before we exit. God bless you and everyone else working for God in here, doing your best. We're working for you, God. We need your help. Okay. Everyone in here needs your help. And we're praying for each other that you help all of us in here. Help us, God, right? We're praying for each other in here. Help us, these people working for you, do the work for you, God, perfectly. We just want to be your perfect servant. Thank you, God. Okay. I'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone. God bless you.